V's personal, and she's looking into her person. This is. Don't start that shit, bro. Don't start that shit. I don't know if you guys remember that dog that I ended up adopting on Thanksgiving, but he's been a hindrance to the vibe, and I don't really like him. Not right now, anyways. Anyways. Hey, dude, this is literally your reading, so it's great that you're here. Yeah, we're starting it. It literally just started. Hey, welcome. Yeah, the dude is literally already being weird, and I'm about to kick the fucking cage. I don't want to, but this guy is ungrateful. Yeah, be quiet. Okay, so we're looking into V's love life, and I actually had tried to start this earlier in the day. Like at first I was like, dude, I'm not even gonna record this because it was like, don't record it for YouTube. But then I was like, no, I kind of feel like this is something that should be recorded. But I had started not recording it, and I had it written. So the prompts that I had written down that I wanted to like look into was number 1. The current karmic significance of your connection to this person. So basically, what's making them relevant in your life right now? Like, why do they matter at all? And like, what about them, like, is reflecting something about you for you to learn about yourself, or, like, for you to absorb in a future moment? Because I was picking up on like some Kirby vibes. And then the next thing is their perception, feeling, or grip on you. And I've never really worded like that kind of question like that way. Like, I never really asked like spirit or whatever to describe a person's grip on you. But I do feel like, you know, especially if you're not like in a direct connection with this person, and you're still feeling some kind of like energetic lingering, like even in the other tab, let me show you, because I was watching Scandal earlier. So in in the other tab, like, and this has been on for a couple hours, so I didn't like plan this, but this is Olivia and Fitzgerald, Grant the President, and they have like some kind of like on and off, like, enemies to lovers kind of thing. Like they argue a lot, they fight a lot, but they're like maybe soulmates, and she helps him to get presidential office in the first place, and you know, they cross each other's boundaries sometimes, trigger each other, but they are like the central like focal point of the show. Like their relationship kind of drives the plot forward. So just kind of like right away I'm getting like this idea of this relationship, regardless of whether or not it's like toxic right now or like, you know, like comfortable or like good. It doesn't really matter. I think for better or for worse, this is a situation that drives the plot forward in your life. So like, it matters and it's relevant because you want it to be. In a way, it makes sense for you to like put your focus into maintaining your position in this relationship, or just remaining aware of your position, or whatever. Like, this is someone who you're like continually considering as a variable. And because of that, like, and I'm talking about like you considering them as a variable, this is like a person who I wouldn't be surprised if like you see them without seeing them. Like, if you have any kind of like animal that reminds you of them, you might see that animal more than you see that person. But that could be a way that like, because the next prompt is like their grip on you. I wouldn't be surprised if this person has some kind of way of like connecting with you, even though they're not like with you personally. And I like want to suggest that it might be something a little sexual. Like, I don't know why I'm like, but I feel like like, I wouldn't be surprised if this is a connection that's sexually charged, and that is something that like, because I even wrote down like positive and negative, so it's like magnetism, like a battery, Energizer Bunny. And I talked about how like this drives the plot forward. I was on a walk today and I found this golf ball, Striker 2. Striker squared? I don't know. It's like Striker, the two's at the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. I thought it was so cool. I had to pick it up. So I'm keeping it. But driving it forward, golf swing, swingers. I don't know, because like in this TV show, Fitz has a wife. Like he's a president and has a first lady. And then Olivia like has a thing for him, but she also has like boyfriends that she like entertains because she knows that she can't be with the president, and the president wants to be with her but also can't be with her. So yeah, like there could be like in times of separation, to whatever extent there could be other variables that come in, but if that is the case, like it kind of feels like the magnetism between the two of you is like stronger, or like the strongest, or like more enduring. Okay, so more about the karmic significance of this connection. Why does this even matter? Okay, 9 of Swords. So because this like drives the plot forward in your life, the absence of like direct confirmation or feedback to let you know that you're in the right place makes you feel anxious. So I would say be aware of that, like that tendency within yourself to be overly anxious or to feel like just because you're not getting proof that like you don't know anything, or like you don't know what's going on. That'll like keep you up more than like you really need to be. Like this is 8 of Swords now, also in the reverse. So if you're like feeling stuck, this is a good time to like understand how you're not actually stuck. Then we have the 2 of Swords in reverse, which is like a blind omen. It's in the reverse. So whatever, like this is making me feel like 10 of Cups. Everything is okay. I don't know that you're actually seeing that, because I don't know that the circumstances of your relationship with this person right now are like really screaming like everything's okay. Like this could be someone who like you've had a falling out with, and then like time has gone on, and like no one has really like addressed even what's gone wrong. It's just like it's over, but like is it over? Like in some ways you could be like, I don't really know how we're gonna move forward from where we are right now, but it could be because you're not worried about that. It could be through the detachment of needing to like solve all your problems in this relationship right now. Could help you actually have more peace to move forward. So this kind of like just how can I explain this a different way? I had like a long-term soulmate, and in the beginning of that cycle, like because we had like this really like powerful collision. Like I like to think of us, both of us, as like being our own like celestial bodies. Like both of us are kind of like big deals like in our own lives, and we didn't even like know each other existed, and then like one day randomly like we came into like orbit. But you know, like sometimes if like the two things are have enough force of their own, like they'll like come together and then like swing apart because they can't immediately rest in each other's like gravity. Like it needs, there's like a acclimation process that needs to be undergone before these two things can like really like stably orbit each other. So I kind of get the impression that this is a situation where like things could have like collided, or like elements could have come in randomly and like shaken up a previously existing dynamic of stability, or you're just like initially meeting each other and you need to figure out how to create that stability or like homeostatic environment or like symbiotic relationship. And not all of that you can change immediately, right? Because like if you're just like a comet, you know, you're not necessarily in control of your trajectory, your speed. You don't like that's all divinely orchestrated, right? So you're just the comet, you know. So you just need to kind of focus on being on your path in life, and then understand and rest in whatever internal knowing you have about this person also being like parallel to that path or included in some way, or like an influence to your path, and how that can also be true for the other way around, because you don't know like maybe even how just living your life is something of assistance to other people. Like I know for me, like I'm a reader, so like most people who know me or would know me romantically would know that about me, and they might even be able to like watch my content. So when I when I make content, I'm always kind of like knowing that people, like regardless of who they are, might be digesting it. And whenever I'm not able to produce it because I need to like focus on myself or whatever, because I'm feeling anxious or because I'm feeling like I don't know the answers to even be able to tell people, um, you know, I get stuck in my head and I feel like I don't always know. But if you're not feeling like you know, that's part of the karmic challenge of the situation, is like, what do you do when you don't have the answer? For me, I go into myself and I find stillness. So like in the past like month or two, like I haven't even really been working, mostly because I've been going through a lot of like physical pain. Like you can't even see how bad like my hands were, but like my finger has like completely devoured a ring, and I have like burn wounds on my hands. So I'm like going through changes. Like I don't know if you guys know that TV show Big Mouth, but like I'm myself personally am changing in major ways. So um I would say like consider what's outside of your lens of perspective, like what you might not have any idea could be going on in the lives of people who you are still like, you know, pulling in. Things that like these people wouldn't tell you but might still be like very significant, you know? Hey Eve. Adam and Eve, right? So the Bible kind of off-puts temptation to the feminine aspect, but regardless of whether or not you're dealing with a man or a woman, you know, this person could be battling sin or temptation in their own life or whatever. Like if there is a separation, I just feel called to ground you again in this Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck, where like it doesn't really seem like it's the end all be all or a big deal, or like it's really a true threat to the fuller manifestation of fulfillment here. But let's see more. What else is going on? Ten of Pentacles. With the Fool. So, like, be aware of your position of, like, always being right or always being, like, the victim of your circumstance, because that can keep you stuck. And from seeing more fully what is available to you at any point in time. I'm so glad you decided to record it. Yeah. I felt like I should. And that's like me operating off of my intuition, and it like contrast to what you had specifically requested, which was kind of hard for me to initially do because I don't really like to do that. But like, you know, there could be situations in your life where like you could be like texting your person and then like thinking like, hey, why are they not responding back to me? And their guys are like literally telling them, hey, this isn't important right now. Focus on like paying your bills, or like focus on getting your laundry done. You know, like it's stuff like that where like you may not always be the center of the attention, or like you may not be always getting what you want. And then there's like a tendency maybe for you to occasionally react with that more primal response of like maybe insecurity or just whatever those like childhood wounds are, because the Seven of Wands is that defensive energy, so you're defending that little girl inside of you. So maybe even look at like father or mother wounds, and how you have adapted to them up until now. Because I know for me, like I have like daddy issues, and I have been aggressive in certain ways, and I'm hyper independent, and I struggle to like, you know, a lot of things. So I don't know what your things might be, but I do feel like some of those things are triggered by this connection, because of the sensitivities related to your like inner child that this situation touches on. But I do feel like, you know, it's your challenge right now, or just in life in general right now, to figure out how to not take inconvenience or like things not coming through personally, because it feels like there is a greater plan going on here, like something that you can't really always see or understand, and that you shouldn't be able to see or understand, because if you had this knowledge or insight before you're like supposed to have it, like I don't know, like if they would like destroy things, or like, you know, I don't know what would happen, but it just kind of feels like you're in this more passive energy right now with the Queen of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Like you're more so meant to be ready to, like sitting and waiting for your intuition to come through to tell you how to act in order to move into new cycles of your life that are like stable and abundant, whether that's like involving this relationship or not, but it does feel like regardless of whether or not it directly leads you to this person, like it does feel like like if you were going to manifest a connection, some of the things that you're guided to do in your personal life are going to be important to that connection. And you need to do those things first. Like they're like side quests or like side tasks that are important to check off before you walk through like the final door. It's raining right now in California and it like never does. So it feels like refresh energy. Especially because we're about to start this Lunar New Year in March. So it's like the really like the end into the beginning. In the feminine aspect with the moon. My cat just pulled up. Sorry, I just fucking love my cat, bro. She's so cute. Show me your little fucking face, bro. Show me your little face. Show me your cute little face. Oh my god! Okay, bro, get away from me. Okay, yeah. Cute little fucking face. Alright. So this next part is about their perception, feeling, or grip on you. So what are they like up to on their end that makes you relevant for them? Or are you even relevant for them right now? Find out all this and more. I'm gonna use this deck, the Tarot of Oppositions. Okay, this is the Hermit on the outside, and then as I was opening it, it's the Queen of Wands in reverse. And that is interesting because the Queen of Wands came out before in the other deck, and I was talking about you having an adverse reaction to not having your needs met in a timing that you might hope for. So another thing also is that this person might think of you when they're alone, and they might, like I said, direct their sexual energy towards you. The Hermit doesn't like talk a whole bunch. It's his Virgo energy. It's like a thinking energy. So this person could be thinking about you or any pictures that you have sent them. Like if you have ever sent pictures, they could be like looking at those and thinking about them. This could be the kind of person who like looks and stares and like pays attention to like a lot of detail. This would like probably be like, you know how I was talking about how like if you have an animal for them, like you might see that animal. I think they like would have like an animal for you, or like a song for you, or a color for you, or something like that. Like they would have noticed like what your favorite color is, or like what your favorite genre of music is, and then as they hear it at like Target, they're like, oh man, I want to go shopping with V. I don't know. It's that kind of a thing where I think that there probably are like little blues clues that like the both of you are stumbling across each other with, and then when you find those blues clues, they feel like comforting things. And if you're not like just finding them like naturally in the world, it could even be that like if you have social media, this is like a person who's like looking at your social media for the blues clues. And they would probably be doing this, like this is Virgo energy again, it just came out on top of the deck now, instead of this is probably like maybe happening in secret, or like, you know, this person might not like want you to know that they're watching you, because maybe they think that if you knew that they were watching you, that you would like act differently or something. I don't know. Yeah, like you could be dealing with someone who's like kind of conservative. I'm hearing Her Majesty by the Beatles. Her Majesty's a really nice girl, but she doesn't have a lot to say. Her Majesty's a really nice girl, but she changes from day to day. I want to tell her that I love her a lot, but I gotta get a belly full of wine. Her Majesty's a pretty nice girl, someday I'm gonna make her mine. Someday I'm gonna make her mine. That's a really short song, but it's like really straightforward. Like this is a girl, she's like really beautiful, basically like damn near royalty. But I don't even really know how to approach her. and it makes me nervous to think about approaching her. But one day I will. When I'm ready. And that's the thing, like, when I'm ready, like, when I, like, it's not something that you can really do, right? Because let's say that this person, like, has an insecurity issue. Imagine, like, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, manifest this person to, like, do what I want them to do, but they have an insecurity issue, and then you manifest them, and they're manifested in their insecure form because you're manifesting them out of insecurity, you know? And I think it's better if you, like, karmically release the situation and let this person make whatever choices they want to make because they want to make them, rather than trying to, like, in any way impeding this person's personal process. Like, I know that you were like, I want to get this, like, reading, and I want to know things that I don't know, and I think that's, like, normal, but I would say, like, be careful of that with this energy specifically, like, just before I get into it, because I mentioned this person being kind of conservative, and that could be even with their own, like, thoughts and mind. And so if this person, like, I don't even know how they would know, but, like, if they felt like you were prying into them, I don't know how they would react to feeling intruded upon. So just keep that in mind, like, you know, to what extent am I going, and is that, like, a normal, healthy extent, or is this me enabling my own insecurity? And what should I do when I do feel insecure, as it relates to, like, my connection with this person? Like, how do I handle that for myself? But anyways, like I was saying, their perception and feeling of you and the grip on you in this connection. What does V needs to know about that? We have judgment. Upright. I like that instead of, like, reverse, where it's like, ew, no. It's like, oh my god, yeah. So I mentioned, like, blues clues, so absolutely I think this person is getting those blues clues about you. This is a Libra card, so it's ruled by Venus. I would assume that this would be, like, an indication of this person finding you, like, attractive or, like, appealing or aesthetically, like, complimentary to them. Like, when they look at you, it's, like, a good thing. It's a good, like, they're leaning more, like, green than they are, like, red kind of thing. So I don't know if, like, it's something that you didn't know, or, like, I don't know really, I think, what your connection is with this person. But yeah, the Chariot, I don't want to jump the gun quite yet, but it does feel like this could be, like, someone who already sees you as someone quite significant, because of Judgment being the first card that is coming out, and that being a Libra 7th house, long-term relationships, like business contracts, like people that you, like, work with, that you understand, like, your collaboration or, like, compatibility with, like, kind of readily. So this could also be, like, a friend thing. Like, this person could, like, it's a 2 X's, so it's like we're the same. This could be, like, a Spider-Verse thing, where it's like Miles Morales and, like, Spider-Gwen, where it's like you're like me but different, and I like the ways that you're different from me but still compliment me and being me. And then you also can understand what it's like for me to be me, not because you are me, but because you're something similar to me, or, like, you know. And in that way, this person could feel like you have been, like, divinely bestowed upon them, because you are the thing that is them, that isn't them, so they can see themselves in you. Without, so it's like, if this person ever did struggle to be objective about themselves, I think that you could be, like, a window into, perception, like a new perception that they needed, that they find valuable. King of Cups. Yeah, they find you, I would say, like, emotionally valuable in some way. Like, if not, like, because you're comforting, then because you're, like, maybe funny or friendly, or, like, a good bro, or, like, you know. I feel like if you are highlighting those, like, friendship qualities of yourself, then I feel like that's, like, that's like landing well. Yeah. King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, I'm getting, like, this, like, look but don't touch thing. So I think this person has, like, unacted on desires, unspoken desires towards you. Maybe even, like, in some cases, like, unspoken resentment. I don't know that all these feelings are all positive, but I do feel like this person is conservative. Like, I feel like they're holding things back from you. Like, you wouldn't be allowed to have complete access to this person's internal world, and they may intentionally like downplay their own like anger and frustration towards you, or like some of the things that you do. um Maybe because they know that they don't deserve to like really feel a way, but they just do. I don't know what that's really about, because like I said, I don't know exactly how committed you are to this person. Not that you aren't, but it feels like this person is if you're not committed, it's because this person isn't ready to be committed. If you are committed, then it's like this person has trust for you, maybe lets you like maneuver around the world, but then doesn't always agree with all your choices, kind of a thing. What else? And if it's like, another thing here is like, in some ways they're like, yeah, like I found this like good thing here with this person V, like, you know, like this is a good person, and like I'm attracted to this person, and I think that there is successful, like there is success here, like victory here, but there could still be like other things that this person like would change about you, you know. Like, and I don't normally even like say that, but I do think this person like would maybe like change things about you. I don't know, like not that you're bad or like anything, but I think that you're dealing with the kind of person who like they're coming with like Virgo energy and like Libra energy, so it's like very analytical, like data processing kind of like brain. So if you're like in any way, if your mechanical function does not like mirror theirs exactly, then they can find that frustrating, because they're like maybe in some way still trying to figure out how your mind works and how to predict your behavior, because some of that like anger or whatever could be coming from the fact that they don't know how to predict you, or that they feel like they can't predict you, or like in some ways that you are untrustworthy. Maybe because it's like you're really attractive, and maybe you have other options, and maybe they know that or just assume that. um yeah. Okay, so now your perception and feeling and grip on them. Bottom of the deck from that before was strength in the reverse. So like I do feel like, you know, this person could feel like you literally do cry. Like this is a lady trying to get in his mouth. So maybe you could really try to get in his pants, or like I don't know, or like this is Leo energy. It's like the macho man thing. And this reminds me, I don't know if you even agree with this, or like you'll know what I'm talking about, but Leo energy especially in men is really interesting to me, because it reminds me a lot of times when guys are like, you know, they're like I want like a trad wife, and then I want her to like stay home and like cook for me and like clean for me, but then like I don't want to be like asked for money, kind of a thing, like, or like I don't I don't know, it's just like the contradiction occasionally in the person's mindset. It's like, you know, on one hand they could be like, oh, I really love when a woman is like confident and like sexy, and then on the other hand they could be like, oh, but you posted a picture where you looked confident and sexy on Instagram, so you must want other people's attention, you must be a hoe, like, you know, like you must be loose or like a slut, you know, like it's like that that kind of thing where like this could be a masculine energy that's still like unresolved in their own self, so they can't really understand your security, because this goes beyond theirs in certain ways. So, you know, this person could feel occasionally threatened by what they feel like is manifesting as disloyalty in you, when they don't understand like your motivation behind like doing things. And if it's not disloyalty, then it's like pestering, or like you're always like on their back, kind of a thing. Or they could feel like you're always like like I think you're dealing with someone who has like mommy issues in some kind of way, bro. I don't know if it's because of like money, or because of like clinginess, or like whatever, but I feel like you could be hitting those wounds in your person, and I think that you're definitely feel like your daddy issues would be attacked by the aspirations. Like maybe if they're being avoidant specifically, like if you're like, hey, I need this, or I want this thing done, even if it's just like a text message, and they're like, well, I'm only gonna respond to this when I want to, because, you know, maybe I had like a restrictive mother who I had to do everything the way that she wanted me to do it because, you know, I had to be good. And now I'm like an adult and I don't want to be good, and I don't want to feel like I have to be good, and you're like a woman who I care about and you're telling me to do things and makes me feel away. So, just be aware of like what baggage people could be coming into these relationships with, and like how that could just affect the lens that they see you in, not because you really are that thing that they're afraid of, but because they need time to understand that you're not. So give me a second. I need to drink some water. I'm thirsty. Okay. So now we're doing you. Terrell de Fuego. So, V's perceptions and feelings in grip on her person. And this is like a fire deck. Like, look at the back of it. You know, I feel like you're a passionate person, and I feel like that comes through, not even just in your words, but like in your energetic presence. Like, have you ever felt like, my phone's on, yeah, dude, low battery. Have you ever felt like a person lingering in your energy? I feel like you have that power, and you should definitely, be aware of that, because like I think initially there was the idea, or like the response is like, oh my god, yeah, like I'm so cool. Like, I have the power to be in people's heads all the time just by, like, thinking about them. But then, like, you might manifest some of those more avoidant, like, reactions when people feel like they can't really ever get completely away to recharge. So, just be aware of that. Like, where are you giving this person space to still be an independent person? And how are you motivating yourself to, like, achieve your independent goals, even when... that's challenging. How will I be able to know that lingering energy? Like, I don't know, for me, like, I know when someone is, like, thinking about me. I know, like, this reading was booked, like, a month ago, and I'm only just now having the energy to do it, like, right now, but I can feel when people are like, where's my reading? I can, like, almost hear that in my head. Like, I don't get to be psychic and not be able to know when people are upset with me. Like... Like, as soon as you think some hater shit, I'm gonna get it. Like, I'm gonna feel it, and it's like a little, like, it's like a little punch to my, like, aura, you know what I'm saying? So think about, like, your thoughts as being that powerful, because chances are they probably are, especially if you are someone who has any kind of spiritual practice of your own. Like, it's not small stuff to think anything. And if you're thinking about someone all the time because you love them, like, they're gonna feel that in some kind of way that's gonna, like, manifest in their reality, because all we are and all we see is what we are. So it's just how it goes. So if you're, Alexis, like, if you're feeling like, hey, I think someone's thinking about me, chances are they probably are, and you're not just, like, making that up. Like, you're not being too sensitive or anything like that. Like, it really is that easy to impact someone else, and you'll never actually know because you're just you. But, like, yeah. So let's talk about V's perception of her person and her feelings towards her person. What do her guides want her to know about her perception of her person? Six of Swords in reverse. So I'm getting this thing of, like, don't make this harder than it needs to be, or, like, don't make it, like, don't suffer more than you have to in this connection. And I'm getting that suffering is related to, like, expectation. And I feel like, in the case of, like, this reading itself, like, it's fair to have had an expectation, and I wasn't able to meet it, so I reached out with an email, and I was like, dude, like, I'm going through shit in my life right now, like, I don't know. And that's even hard for me to do, too, because I suck at taking accountability for when I'm weak, because I don't like to admit when I'm weak. Like, for me, like, I pride myself on being the expert with the answers, so like, this is, like, my thing that I do. So when I can't do this because I don't know shit, I'm like, well, I feel insecure about the fact that I don't know shit. But I feel like this is a situation where you're encouraged to kind of take the back seat and watch this entire thing unravel as it will, without you having to really control anything. So when it comes to like this person in this relationship, I think your guides want to encourage you to know that the situation is in development, that everything as it is right now is likely to still change. So you shouldn't over invest in how you feel right now, what you're seeing right now, what, like anything that like is really happening right now, because it doesn't really seem like that is how things will be. You're like just in one position in this journey. So you might start to feel like small when you forget the smallness of your position. Like I don't know if I said that the right way, but it's like I think it'll be easier to get caught up in that anxiety and like fear of loss or abandonment when you're starting to realize that like there is a day after tomorrow and a day after that and a day after that, and there is like other and more things to be focused and kind of compelled or absorbed by. Because I feel like you're the kind of person who, like, you know, I mentioned like gravity and like magnetism, so I relate to your energy, because when I talk about like my stronger soulmates, I use like sun and moon, like it's like metaphors, and like the moon like is a satellite, you know. So I feel like when I fall in love with people, like, you know, I orbit them, like they do become like the center of my life, like, and I'll be like really like TMI, but like when I like date people, like a recent like fling that I had, I'll call it a fling, I don't know if I really should call it that, I don't really know. But like when I have a person in my life and they are like routinely there and I can expect them to be there, like I'll start to like work my schedule around them. So like there was this guy, and like whenever he would come and like visit me after work, and I would time my showers so that like I would be like freshly showered that when he got like to my place, but that was like in the afternoon. So like it was like and then I like made sure that like everything, you know, I'm that kind of person. So like if there was a disturbance to that person not being there, like it would have thrown off my like schedule, because I would have based it on that person. And in that way it makes me feel like vulnerable being that moon type of person, because without the sun, like what am I satelliting, you know? So like I kind of feel like sometimes without a sun person I can like fall out of bounds, and like I don't have anything to keep me in place because I have nothing to like really satellite. So what is the need to like, you know? So if you're like that, then I empathize and I see you. But we still need to figure out ways to like keep ourselves like together, even when we don't know what's holding us together exactly. Even if there's like no reason why we have to do things, we still have to, you know, figure out why we're doing it. I hope that makes sense. I just, you know, I can be like a fixated type of person. We have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah. So yeah, like I just heard don't be a dead horse, but then also like have compassion for yourself. So much so that like when you're not getting what you need from someone else, you don't feel deprived, because you know where else you can get that same energy. Because I do feel like this is a person who maybe like occasionally does walk away from you, or does like focus themselves elsewhere. And I think that you perceive that about this person, and that makes you feel like they're not interested or like they don't care. I don't think that's actually what is happening. Another example that was coming to my mind, there was this girl that I really thought was really attractive, and I had like, I don't even know who slid in whose DMs first, I really don't remember, but we had been like talking, and then like she was so attractive, but she was like a Hooters girl. Like I was a little intimidated by that, because I was like, what? And like I never actually like linked up with her or like went on a date with her or anything like that, even though like I had told her I was like, I'm gonna go and like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like plan us a picnic.
And I was like, yeah, dude, we're gonna have a picnic for sure. And I just never, like, I never made that happen. And I kind of feel bad at it now. But, like, you know, the pressure of it was too much for me. Like, honestly, I just couldn't take the pressure of it. She was too bad of a bitch. So I bailed out. And, like, I still follow her on Instagram. And she's still gorgeous. But, like, I don't know. I just felt like it was too much at the time. So, you know, there could also be, like, that thing going on where you're, like, you might not even understand how, like, full of a manifestation you actually are in the lives of other people. Like, you could be the full package, and people could be coming across you in life and knowing how they're not ready for you, or that they aren't the right match for you. And it's not because they're not, like, wanting to be, or that they wouldn't be willing to change. It's just that it's like a honest self-assessment. So in that way, it really is important for you to not take it personally when people are, like, moving how they're moving around you, because you never really know if that move around you that looks like avoidance is actually really respect for you and, like, what you require from an interaction. Like, it wouldn't have made sense for me to come and attack this reading, like, if I wasn't in the energy to do it, because you wouldn't have even been satisfied with what I was providing. Like, you wouldn't have even liked it, and, like, it wouldn't have been a good reading. Like, it wouldn't have even, like, you know, made you feel, like, good. Because I wouldn't have felt good. So I can't share with you good if I don't have it in me. I think that that's a situation, or, like, a challenge that this situation is, like, bringing to you is, you know, what do I do and how do I deal with less than ideal circumstances? And, like, are they so discouraging that I can't continue forward towards what I want in the long term? King of Wands. Yeah, you could be, like, used to being able to get your way, or just, like, make your way, or, like, cut down obstacles, and you might not be able to do that in the situation at hand. Seven of Wands in reverse. This is it upright. So, yeah, you can be struggling not to take personally what you can't, like, make happen in your life right now. But you're still, like, really an abundant person. So while you're sitting and waiting, like, what do you do? Because I don't think that, like, with the King of Wands upright, and you were, like, the Queen of Wands before, I think you have everything you need to attract what you want out of life. I don't think that you know what you need, right? So I think that's important to also think about is, like, where am I being protected from what I don't even know is maybe a potential harm? And can I accept that I don't know everything that I might need to know in order to make the best and most accurate judgment of the situation at hand? I think one of the tendencies that you might have is to, like, you know, really get in your feelings about stuff. Like, I don't know if you can see, one of her tattoos is, like, a thing in her heart. So, like, yeah, like, you could feel like a lot of times in your life you're being attacked, and so maybe there's, like, a natural tendency to, like, maybe because you literally are small, or, like, feel small in life and have, like, needed to defend yourself a lot, but maybe just because, you know, there's been a lot of circumstances where you, like, genuinely did need to defend yourself. Or you genuinely were neglected, like, left out, or you genuinely were cheated on, or genuinely were lied to. And if these are, like, all circumstances that are, like, you know, related to the past of this connection specifically, then maybe this is the time when you're thinking about whether or not you want to keep going. I don't like my dog. I'll be so honest. This guy drives me insane. Not Dominion, but the other one. It's fucking annoying. His name is Cesar, and I might not have him that much longer. And I don't even feel bad about that, because this guy is crazy. This guy is totally bonkers. Okay, so the next question is, how or is this connection being guided forward? More Wasser. Mineralwasser. Das Mineralwasser. Ist lecker. Das Mineralwasser ist lecker. Ah, hallo. Welcome. Du kommst aus Amerika? Ja, ich komme Amerika. Okay. How or is this connection being guided forward? That reminds me, I need to fucking do my German lessons. It's sehr lecker. Yeah, das Essen, I just ate church lasagna. That shit was so good. And it had like little banana cake squares. It was good. I know words to like order from the menu in German now. Speise Karte is menu. Die Speisekarte, and Kenar is a male waiter. Kenarin is a female waiter. I'm proud of myself. I've been learning new languages, and one of my longest term soulmate connections is actually with a German guy. So it's like with him, it's like what can I do? So I just release it because I know that like whatever that is like whatever that is, that I have no way to like change it. So I try my best not to like tweak out, even though I recently did tweak out a little bit. Like I think I cried a couple of tears the other day. Okay. Because I was like, dude, shut the fuck up! This guy drives me insane. None of my other pets like bark or like anything. I know like, some animals do, but like, I didn't even like really want this guy around. Like this little Chihuahua guy. Like he was running through the streets on Thanksgiving, and like it was like there's traffic, and I was like, well, don't die. I'll take you home. And then I bring him home, and he's just like first he was like he's old. Like he's an old Chihuahua. He's like an old man Chihuahua. So he has like no bladder control. I can't get this guy on the schedule. Like he won't even follow one. And then he was like pissing and shitting everywhere, and I was like, well, dude, now my house smells weird. And then I got him a cage. So now he's in the cage, but then when he's in the cage, he's like whining all the time, and I'm like, bro, like I don't want to hear that shit. Like no way. I tried to take him to the pound. I literally tried to take him to the pound, and then they were like, bro, you have to pay money to give him to the pound after like a month of having the motherfucker. So I was like, well, dude, it's cheaper to just keep the motherfucker. So he's here, but I don't really like him, and he's an inconvenience, but whatever. And he represents like I don't know, like I think he has a couple of different like meanings. Like I'm assuming that he has a meaning only because my other pets do. Like Dominion and Seraph are like angels, like, and I very specifically had like great intentions around getting them, and then this guy is just like a wild card. But he has like a sperm cell on his head, and he's quiet for the most part, but recently he's been getting a little yappy, and I don't really like it. Don't really like it. Maybe he's there to teach me. I have plenty of patience for things I actually like and care about. I don't like or care about this guy. I felt bad because, he was roaming through the streets on Thanksgiving. His name is Cesar. I found him outside Little Caesars. He's a little pizza dog. So, whatever. I don't want him to, like, die. I just... How is this connection being guided forward? And that's about the dog. You're the assassin. Oh, fuck. Ruthlessness and conviction. I think that's me right now. I don't have a lot of empathy for this guy. I don't really know what it is about him. We just never really had we never really formed a bond. Like, I have a bond with my other pets. I don't have a bond with this guy at all. I don't know if that relates to this connection. I don't know that it does, but we'll see. What else about how or is this connection being guided forward? We have the chiromancer, delivering news and collaboration. I'm gonna get 4 before I say anything. We have the thief in the reverse, seizing the moment and selfishness. A lot of hands on these cards. The pathless, difficult decisions and lack of direction. And the brawler, lack of empathy and confrontation. I literally said that. So I do think that it is relevant. We have the guide, inheritance, and correction. So, I'm not sure how much of what I said about like having had a conflict in a previous time in this connection might resonate for you. And even if you are like hearing that and you're like, well, you know, this person has never said anything to me about like what they didn't like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did have some kind of like resentment or like animosity or some kind of like grudge or like something that they think about in their mind that holds them back from taking actions that maybe that they would or would be like clearer for them to take if they, you know, didn't have like some kind of cognitive dissonance or like internal like you know insecurity or lack of resolve in certain ways. Like I wouldn't be also be surprised if this is the connection that like people have their hand in some kind of way, because all of these last, like the first card is the only card that doesn't have hands on it, and it's the assassin. So that's a person who like has a goal to like put something to an end, and then everything else is like the hands that would be like kind of like doing that like doing the work of assassinating. And that's the chiromancer, the thief in the reverse, the pathless, and the brawler. So, if this isn't even like other people kind of interfering in your connection, if that in any way like could resonate, then this could also be like a version of self that needs to be decomposed or like regenerated before the idealer self is possible. So like maybe even a wounding that needs to be recovered from. Like I have literal wounds on my hands that I had to recover from to be able to do this reading. So it could be that like, you know, you're dealing with someone who has some kind of like intensity about their life or like significance about their life, right? Like if they're the sun, then they're burning kind of big and hot, and they are a focal point of not only their own life but then maybe other people's lives around them. So you know, there could even be like eyes on them and they can't really act freely. There could be eyes on you and you can't really act freely. There could be like wounding, whether that's like actual physical wounding or like an internal wounding, like you hurt my feelings and I'm not ready to like be around you because I'm still recovering from what I need to do internally to not be insecure about what you did to hurt my feelings. Because I don't know that if there is like a trespass here that you're gonna really get a clear apology. So you kind of need to be able to like self-soothe and like be okay and ready to just move forward from whatever position that you are like picking up in, which may not be like super ideal in this energy. Like the thief in the reverse kind of feels like if there is an opportunity to move things forward in a better way, it might come at a time when you're not really like looking forward or like necessarily like completely ready for it that you think. But that's the thing, is like I think some of this is being divinely orchestrated so that you wouldn't be able to predict how this turns out. We have the pathless here, so you're a unique person dealing with another unique person, and like you have creative freedom here, like in this relationship. Like any action that you kind of want to take or like spearhead or initiate, like it is there and available for you, whatever you're feeling called to do. And you don't have to like hold back your shadow here with this person and this energy. Like, you know, you have the assassin, the thief, the pathless, and the brawler. So like if you have like tougher words to say, like don't be afraid to say them. Like, you know, this is like big boy stuff, like big boy pants. So you know, or if it's like maybe even crying, like whatever emotional expressions might need to be had, like whatever bell ringing might need to be done, can be done in a way that's like respectable with the scholar here, and leaves everybody on the same page. So part of what could be the next step for or stage of this connection is getting back onto the same page. Sorry, he's doing gross stuff. Okay, I'm done with this reading because I need to focus on my dog who's being gross. He just like threw up and now he's like eating it. And okay. Okay, bye. I hate this dog, bro.